to whether Winston Dukaran should be appointed the person under the People's Partnership to represent the country as its next president. I have made it very clear. I would love that to happen, so that at least a by-election can be called in that particular constituency. And I hope you, the people of Tunapuna, are smart enough to know, don't give it to the PNM, nor give it to the People's Partnership, give it a neutral. If you give it to the PNM, they can't do anything for you. If you give it to the People's Partnership, they will continue to do whatever they're doing now. Both sides need a wake-up call. So you tell the PNM, go bask in the glory of the sun of failure. And you tell the People's Partnership, come join the sunlight of failure. And you put somebody neutral. I would like to be that person. But it's a choice that you have to make. And I hope if and when that time occurs, I can count on you. Because believe it or not, it's time to shake up the country. Ruffle the feathers. The same feathers that have been lying there for the last number of years without any ruffling. Finally, you look at the situation of the country today. We've spoken about the Dukaran potential possibility of becoming the president. We've spoken about the justification that allowed a magistrate to change the date of sentencing to another date and question whether or not there is legitimacy in that particular deliberation. And you put it against those who have been incarcerated for lesser evils than the one that has been perpetrated on the individual that has suffered. And then you come full circle and you look at some of the people who are in power. You hear the Minister of Arts and Multiculturalism telling the country, the government, when they were making the decision, made the decision against the background of putting the best person to run the National Carnival Commission. Best person? Who is that? Alison Dimas? Best in what? Copyright law? Management expertise and experience? She's been given $100 million plus to manage. I think the biggest dollars she has ever managed in her life must be her salary. I'm not taking any credit for anything or casting aspersions on anyone. I'm just saying the facts. So how did she get there in the first place? And when you hear the kind of questions that I put forward to the minister, and you hear his answers, you then sit back and ask yourself, do these guys understand the value of money? Because I tell you this, if that was his money to spend, he never, I say never, will spend it there. These guys don't understand their responsibility for the job that they have taken. They operate in a vacuous attitude, and eventually they'll get sucked in. And when they get sucked in, then they are left with no alternative. But as the great Iowa George says, what? Follow the leader, 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 follow the leader, leader. Hear what, people? Wake up. Big weekend. Soca Monarch semis. 2 key people pulled out. On one of the institutional methods of communication, Facebook, person says, I'm not prepared to sign for something that I don't agree. It begs the question, why did you send in your piece of work for auditioning. Because you knew very well that those were the rules. So it begs the question, did they send in their piece of work? Or was their piece of work added to the list? Ponder on that this week, people. Because you don't send in something and then all of a sudden, because you had a bad night, either because huzzy didn't do what he was supposed to do, or wifey didn't do what she was supposed to do, that you end up in a position of in anger, and then just all of a sudden decide we're not going to participate in semis. Lots of questions to be asked. Some of the songs that made it there, your guess is as good as mine. How did it get there? These judges have to get their mind checked, get their ears checked, get their eyes checked, and most important, do a brain scan, because the CD player that's playing up here definitely does not reflect the music that they have put into the semi-finals. I'm sure you could predict who will be the 10 or 11. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that. As a matter of fact, if I had the list in front of me, I would be able to tell you. And I wouldn't be off by more than one or two. Therein lies the issue of the problem. It's time we do some soul searching, people. It's not the best time to ask you to do it, but with Carnival around the corner, nakedness taking precedence, alcohol taking priority, promiscuity taking the front burner, and HIV transmitted at will because we don't have conscious thinking small head people. Let's hope that you see this before you make the next mistake to lie down. And not ask yourself, you have the cover? Because you know what? If you don't have the cover, you will be having problems forever. It's called Dead Men or Women Tell No Tales. I'll see you next week, when I'm sure we'll be talking either about Jack or Orville, as we look towards saying, who's the boss of Tobago? Be on the safe side. It ain't raining, but if you're going to spout any water, make sure you have a raincoat. Next week. Bye.
Make Charm your next stop. 19 Divertile Street. 10 elegantly created masterpieces with you, the woman in mind. Priced to meet your pocket and with an all-inclusive that provides cocktails and premium drinks from our specially built bar. Let's not forget that you'll be served lunch in comfort, not on the ground. And yes, easy on, easy off, complimentary washrooms. Best of all, great music from the icons of More FM 104.7. Charm, the Carnival Experience.